Good morning, friends. Welcome to Go Long, a show that focuses on local sports and faith, includes thought-provoking interviews with area coaches, players, and sports figures, unashamed Bible discussion, and the one and only, It's a Dinger, the popular and entertaining WOYK Scoreboard Show. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B.
Good morning.
Morning, Becky B. Hey, thanks for being with us, everybody, because we've got a dandy with us this morning. Damone Catholic's girls basketball coach, Jerry Eckenrode. Can you imagine 72 straight York Adams division wins? 72!
That is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yep, he has over 500 wins in his backpack, this Coach Eckenrode. Hey, also with us, Susquehannock's athletic director, wonderful athletic director, Brad Keeney. Becky B, tell us about it.
Well, Brad's going to tell us about the York Adams Mental Health Symposium that's occurring today at Susquehannock High School. One of those opportunities for athletes in the York Adams area and really anybody who would like some more information on how to better mental health for student athletes.
Well, give us the times and so forth real quick, and
Well,
we'll go over it again later.
That's great. It's today. It starts at 2 o'clock to 4 is a wellness fair. The coaches session, it runs from 2 to 3, followed by a student session and a parent session from 3 to 4. So this is not just for student athletes. This is for parents, community members. Really, anybody can benefit.
Alrighty, we'll talk with Athletic Director Brad Keeney about that and more in just a bit. Hey, friends, as Paul addressed believers in Rome and explained his mission in the book of Romans, for I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. Today's Go Long topic is part of our 3-part series on living intentionally, Bible verses, and discussion about having a poor self-image and even a fear of failure. We probably should break that up and have 2 sessions, but we're going to talk about poor self-image and fear of failure today. You know, that is our mission on Go Long, as we celebrate the accomplishments of our local athletes, coaches, and sports figures. We do so in an unashamed, faith-based way. Throughout the week and today's show, please text your prayer requests to 717-350-8591. Becky B will lead us in prayer as we close out the show. Alrighty, you know, it's red hot, head hot. It's downtown. Ollie Brown, grab the mustard, because this is the Grand Salami, a faith-based sports radio shows brought to you by Sports Radio, WOYK, 1350 AM, 98.9 FM, first in York, and first in sports. And our friends Kelsey Jean and Kylie Jane at Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. You wanted it, you asked for it, you're going to get it. This is the WOYK Scoreboard. Let's kick it off with York Adams boys hoops on Friday evening. It was senior night at Northeastern High School, and it's a big but, the visiting Central York Panthers improved to 8-2. By the way, I know a lot about big butts, so I got one. It was improved to 18-2, a perfect 11-0 in Division I, with a 73-52 win over the Nor'easters. With this win, Central York clinched the York Adams Division I marbles, a repeat from last season.
Senior forward Greg Geidinger led with 16. Junior guard Ben Natal booked 15. He's just 4 points shy of 1,000 for his career. Yeah. And junior center Big Ben Rill added 14 for the Panthers.
3 seniors playing their last home game at Northeastern. They led Northeastern. Anthony Williams led with 17. Josh Everly with 11. And Evan Jennings chipped in a 10 spot for the Bobcats. You know, that's, if you ever experienced that, knowing you're playing your last home game, but so well done to the Nor'easters and those 3 seniors.
And here's an interesting stat. The Northeastern Bobcats dropped 9 games by 5 or less points as they fall to 7-15 on the season and 2-10 in Division I.
Well, here's how I look at that. Coach Eister is one of the best in the York Adams League, leading the Northeastern Bobcats. So I think Coach Eister upcoached them and got them close in those games.
And you know what?
Yep.
Every night when you're playing Division I, it's a game.
Absolutely.
The Dallastown Wildcats fall to 12-7 overall with a 49-46 non-league loss to the Governor Mifflin Mustangs. We'll look at Dallastown's District 3 chances in just a bit.
Okay.
And the Red Lion Lions took care of business by punching out the Papertown boys of Spring Grove 73-51. Congratulations to the senior from Spring Grove, Avon Myers, for reaching the 1,000 points in his career. Myers with 15 for the Papertown boys in the loss.
Alrighty, moving on to York Adams Division 2 boys hardwood play. A win for the Dogtown boys of West York, playing at New Oxford, and the Bulldogs clinched the Division 2 Cat's Eye.
But the New Oxford Colonials, playing at home in Circletown, surprised the Dogtown boys of West York 57-45. For the Colonials, Brennan Holmes led with 17 and Idris Amatikov added 14 as they improved to 11-10 overall, 5-6 in division play. The Colonials still alive in the District 3 5A playoff hunt.
Yeah, that surprised me as well. For the West York Bulldogs, Luke Hoffman led with 28 as they fall to 13-7 overall, 9-3 in Division 2 play. West York went on to beat Selinsgrove yesterday, 44-37.
The Golden Boys of Eastern York knocked off the Kennerdale Rams 46-41 in a low-scoring affair. With the win, Eastern improves their season record to 15-5, 8-3 in division play, and they earn a spot in the York Adams tournament. For the Golden Boys of Eastern York, Carter Wamsley and Anson Marcos, each with 14, and Justin Strasbaugh chipped in 11. Ryan Przanowski booked 16 to leave the Fawn Grove boys as they even up their season record at 10-10, 4-7 in Division 2 play.
In the end, Nelly grab him by the ear, drag him out behind the woodshed, and give him a good old-fashioned whipping. Game of the week, the York Suburban Trojans spanked the Dover Eagles 64-36 in Dover with the win over Dover, and Saturday's 60-51 win over the boys from the Rock, the Susquehannock Warriors, that is. The Suburbanites improved to 16-5 overall, 9-3 in league play, and tie the Dogtown boys of West York for the Division 2 trophy.
In York Adams Division 3 boys hoops, York Catholic pounded the York Tech Spartans 82-58 as junior Jake Dallas poured in a game-high 36 points as he hit his 1,000th career point milestone. The Fighting Irish now 10-11 for the season, 9-4 in division play.
Alrighty, congratulations to Coach John Forster and the Littlestown Thunderbolts as they become the Division 3 champs with a 70-47 win in Big Laville over the boys from the Apple capital of the world. With the win, the Smallsville boys improved to 17-5 overall, 14-0 in Division 3.
And the DeLone Catholic Squires with an easy win over the Hanover Nighthawks, 68-44 in McSherrystown. Gage Zimmerman led the McSherrystown boys with 16, and Ethan Killinger led the Snacktown boys with a baker's dozen.
And wrapping up Friday's York Adams Division 3 play, the Bermudian Springs Eagles improved to 14-8, 9-5 in Division 3 play by shellacking Fairfield 65-43. Tyson Carpenter nailed 15 for the Eagles, and the cupboard wasn't bare as Dylan and Lane Hubbard combined for 25 in the win for the Eagles.
In Saturday's games, York High knocked off Bishop McDevitt 56-51 for an important non-league win to continue their run to a district playoff spot.
All right, Becky B, give us a look at the York Adams standings at this point. And, hey, we're going to name some champions here, right?
We have champions in all three divisions. Central York, unblemished 11-0 in Division 1, followed by Red Lion at 10-2 and Dallastown at 7-4. William Penn bringing up the fourth spot at an even 5-5. In Division 2, West York and York Suburban have now clinched a share
I feel like
of the
election
Division
night
2.
where you announce,
Yeah, kind of. Okay. With a 9-3 record, and Eastern York then following them at 9-4. And in Division 3, Littlestown continues their unblemished season at 14-0 in the division, followed by DeLone Catholic at 11-3.
Right, hey,
Congratulations to all those division winners: Central York, West York, York Suburban, and Littlestown.
Alrighty. Hey, Sheridan, Division 2. Just a quick look around the leagues that make up this District 3. Then we'll talk about District 3. First of all, in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth, it's the Cumberland Valley Eagles. They lead everyone there with an 11-1 league record, followed by Carlisle with an 11-2. In the Mid-Penn Keystone, the Toll Time Boys of Mechanicsburg, 12-2. Also, not far from my favorite place, the Hershey Park Kissing Tower. Hershey also at 12-2, as the Keystone Division and Mid-Penn all knotted up Both teams, Mechanicsburg and Hershey, with identical 12-2 records. Then in the Mid-Penn Colonial, Greencastle Antrim already clinched with a 12-1 record, and Mid-Penn Capital Trinity leads with a 10-3 record. Now, you know, at one time people used to say, you win the Mid-Penn, you win District 3. That's not the case anymore.
That's not always the
That
case.
is not the case. We could look at many, many matchups where that has not happened, even this year in non-league play. Alrighty, in the Lancaster-Lebanon League, and I've been saying all year, I think the Lancaster-Lebanon League is much better than they had been just the last couple years. You know, they have a great history, but I think they were down a little bit. They're better again in the Division 1 in the Lancaster League. Cedar Crest leads everybody with an 8-2 record. Division 2, it's Warwick 10-0. Division 3, Octorara 8-2, and Lampeter Stroudsburg 8-2. And then Division 4, no surprise here, Columbia unblemished at 7-0. How about the Berks League, Becky B? Division 1, Muhlenberg 7-3, Reading 7-3. They're tied up at Division 1. Division 2, hey, no surprise here, right? Brooks Catholic 10-1.
That's true.
Division 3, how about this? Becky B's Fleetwood Tigers unblemished in Division 3 play, 10-0 record. Division 4 is led by Antietam, 8-3. Now, you know, if I'm going to rank these leagues real quick, and then we'll look at district play, I'm gonna call it a pick'em in York Adams Mid-Penn LL League. Berks just a hair behind, right? Just in basketball, not in soccer, a hair ahead. But let's face it, that's my opinion. It'll be interesting what happens now. Berks Catholic can beat anybody, right?
Well, Berks Catholic always does seem to come up with a stellar team.
They do. Now, you know, how will Fleetwood match up? That'll be interesting.
Well, Fleetwood lost to them in the first round.
But how will Fleetwood match up in district play?
Are you talking about district play? You know,
I think it's going to be interesting.
I think it's going to be very interesting. Fleetwood lost their leading scorer from last year and still has a tremendous squad, really a lot of balanced play.
Alrighty.
Which is important.
We're going to keep track of this throughout district play when it starts, and how many league wins there are, and who wins these championships. You know what? I'm calling it pick 'em when you look at Mid-Penn, LL, and York Adams. So we'll see how it goes. All right, District 3, look. In single A, 10 teams will get in. Linville Hill Christian leads the pack. And York Country Day Greyhounds, here comes Rusty. They're sitting at number 5. They're going to get in this thing. In double A, 4 teams only will get in. It's leading the pack right now is Lancaster Mennonite with a 15-5 record. In Triple A, 6 teams get in. Trinity leads everyone. We talk a little bit about that. Coming out of the Mid-Penn with a 13-4 record. Columbia unbeaten in Lancaster-Lebanon League, second. DeLone Catholic third. York Catholic fourth. 6 teams get in. DeLone and York, I think they're going to play. They're going to play down to the final wire there in that 3A bracket. 4A, Berks Catholic leads everybody. We talked about that. 18-2 record, also out of the Berks League. 17-2 record overall. Fleetwood, Octorara out of the LL League, third. Then Littlestown, Eastern York. Kennerdale is sitting on the 10 spot, looking to get in. Only 10 teams get in. Kennerdale with 1 game left. Tuesday night plays Susquehannock. So we'll talk more about that. The winner is going to get in this thing. The winner is going to get in this thing. Kennerdale wins. They're in. They hold that 10 spot. In 5A, the Tool-Time Boys of Mechanicsburg with a 16-4 record out of the Mid-Penn League, followed by Hershey. Then York Suburban, the Suburbanites third in District 3. West York, the Dogtown Boys are 6th. The Battlefield Boys of Gettysburg are 12th. 14 teams get in. The Circletown Boys, the New Oxford Colonial, sitting at the 14th spot. Now, the boys from the Rock, the Susquehannock Warriors, with an 11-10 record, are 16th. And it's just hundredths of a decimal points trying to get in this thing. They play Kennerdale on Tuesday for any shot at all. They win, they're on the bubble. And we'll see what happens. They lose, Kennerdale's in, and Susquehannock's out. 6A, 12 teams get in. Hey, who's leading the pack? The Central York Panthers, followed by Carlisle, Cumberland Valley, Chambersburg, Central Dauphin, all out of the Mid-Penn League. Then Redline and York High sitting on the 10 spot. Dallastown sitting at 11 spot. Likely will get in. York High has Dallastown on Tuesday. Says they start to wrap things up. Remember last week I said York High gets in this thing? Mm-hmm. I still say they do. York High's in. Dallastown has Susquehanna Township Monday. I think that's a winnable game for them. At York on Tuesday, that's a toss-up. I'm calling that a pick-em. Dallastown wins one of those. I say they get in. So good luck to the Dallastown Wildcats trying to get into Big Boy Pants bracket in District 3.
All right, and then moving on to girls York Adams hoops. Wow, what a difference a year makes as the Southwestern Mustangs went from 0-12 Division I record to an 8-3 Division I record, as the Stangs' most recent win comes at the hands of York High with a 3-point win, 45-42. For the Stangs, Carly Louie led with 17 as Southwestern improves to 16-5 overall, 8-3 in Division I play. Zakira McGee led York with a baker's dozen. They fall to 13-8 and 7-5 in Division I play.
The Central York Panthers win easily over the New Oxford Colonials 52-36 as they improve to 17-5 overall, 9-3 in Division I play, and the Red Line Lions beat the Spring Grove Rockets 61-54 in Papertown. Grace Masters led the Cigar Town girls and all scorers with 26. Jocelyn Hartman led the Papertown girls with 22.
Moving on to York Adams Division II girls basketball play. The West York Bulldogs played the spoiler and they upset the Northeastern Bobcats 59-46. Faith Walker led all scorers with 23 as the Dogtown girls improved to 15-6, 9-3 in league play.
Jess Weaver's York Suburban Trojans clinched a tie for the Division II Marbles with a 63-26 win over the Dover Eagles on Friday. And guess what? They went on to win the outright championship with a 35-26 low-scoring win in the Rock on Saturday afternoon over the Susquehannock Warriors.
The Golden Girls of Eastern York improved to 11-9 overall, 5-6 in division play with a low-scoring 39-34 win over the Kennerdale Rams. Adriana Seitz led with 29. If you do the math, that's just south of 75% of Eastern York's point total for Ariana Seitz.
Ariana, 75%.
That's crazy,
You know
isn't
what?
it?
All right, so I did a little background research here.
Of course you did.
You know, in the NBA, who had the most percentage of points all time? Well, that goes to Kobe Bryant. How about that? Bryant
no
scored.
surprise.
Yep, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points on January 23rd, 2006, as the Lakers beat the Raptors 122-124. That was 66.4% of the Lakers scores that night. And then another one, Wilt Chamberlain, and this is a great game. You know, we got to talk about Wilt Chamberlain. The night he scored 100 points in Hershey. In Hershey, as it was March 2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain set an NBA single-game scoring record, 100 points for the Philadelphia Warriors, as they beat the New York Knicks 169-147.
Can you imagine, though, there's not even room in the scorebook
Yeah,
to put all
100
those
points.
little
Yeah.
twos
No, it
and
is.
dots and everything else. Yeah.
Well, anyway, Wilt Chamberlain, 36 from 63 from the field. He had 63 shots from the field, and from the charity stripe, he was 28 for 32.
That's crazy.
And what makes that unbelievable, I remember him going to the foul line, and he was not a great free throw shooter. I had to look that up as too. I mean, he only shot 51% from his career, but that night in Hershey, there had to be something sweet going on. He was 28 for 32. All right, that's good stuff. 66% of your team score, all-time high. Kobe Bryant in the NBA. Ariana Seitz, 75% of Eastern York's points. Well done, Ariana.
So her percentage points are beating Kobe and Wilt.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay,
Alrighty.
not to mention Michael Jordan.
Let's go for 100
right?
next night out, right?
I think so. Okay, moving on to York Adams Division III play. The DeLone Catholic Squares remained unblemished in division play with a perfect 12-0 record, and they ran roughshod over the Hanover Nighthawks 51-7.
Oh.
The McSherrystown boys, are you ready? Girls? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Their 72nd straight division win.
Alrighty, we'll talk with Coach Jerry Eckenrode in just a bit about that team, who is outstanding. The Bermudian Springs Eagles improved to 14-8 overall, 8-4 in division play with a 49-37 win. And the girls from the Apple capital of the world running the Smallsville girls through the Foley Food Mill as Biglerville wins 41-37 over Littlestown. Kearney Weigel led Biglerville with 14.
Then yesterday, the Dogtown girls pounded Muhlenberg 72-41, and the Mannheim Township handed a loss to the Red Lion Lions 53-43.
Alrighty, Becky B. How about a look at the York Adams? I guess that's a new nickname for you, Becky B.
No, that's enough.
Got the
Thank you.
bubblers, but the B. Hey, York Adams League standings in girls basketball. Becky B.
Alrighty, and we have some division winners. Dallastown, of course, clinched that division. 11-1 is their overall division record, followed by Central York at 9-3 and Southwestern at 8-3. In Division 2, York Suburban clinched their record, and the sole share of that division. They are at 11-1, followed by Northeastern with their loss to West York at 10-2, and then West York is at 9-3. And Division 3, DeLone Catholic, as we said, totally unbeaten for a long time. Their division record this year is 12-0, followed by York Catholic at 9-2, and Bermudan Springs at 8-4.
All right, a quick look at District 3 girls basketball. These are the power rankings. 10 teams will get in single A. Right now they're led by Linville Hill Christian with a 16-1 record. The Christian School York having a good season. They're ranked 6th. 14-5. They're going to get in that District 3 bracket. Then in Double A, Millersburg leads with a 16-4 record, followed by Lancaster Mennonite and Fairfield in the third spot. 4 teams will get in. Fairfield 9-12, but they're going to get in that District 3 playoff bracket. Then in 3A, only 6 teams will get in. Lancaster Catholic leads with a 7-2 record. Columbia 16-3. York Catholic is 4th. They're going to be in that District 3 AAA bracket. I think they're going to do well in that bracket as well. In 4A, DeLone Catholic, no surprise here, the McSherrytown girls leading the whole pack, 19-0. Hey, Wyomissing also unbeaten. How about that? They're also unbeaten. They're second ranked. 10 teams will get in. Eastern York, the Golden Girls with Ariana Sites are 6th in that bracket. They will be playing the District 3 tournament as well. Then in 5A, the Suburbanites, the York Suburban Trojans, lead everybody with a 19-1 record. Northern York, the Polar Bears, hey, they are 20-0. How about that? Followed by Susquehanna Township. Then West York is ranked 4th. 14 teams will get in this bracket. And York Adams League will be represented as well. Susquehanna is going to get in here with an 8-12 record. But here's what I find interesting. There's 29 teams that play girls basketball in District 3, 5A. Mm-hmm. 10 of them, 10 out of 29 have winning records. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
10 out of 29. Redland, 10-10 is a winning record at 10-10. Then it drops off to Cocalico, 9-11. Susquehanna, 8-12. So what does that tell you anything? What's it tell you?
Well,
I don't know.
It used to be, a while ago, that you needed to have at least a 500 record to get into district play.
That's true.
That's no longer the case as more and more people are playing across their categories.
Yeah.
That has all changed.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right. In the big girl pants bracket, 6A in District 3, 12 teams will be in. Lebanon leads everybody. They're ranked number 1 with an 18-2 record. Dallastown 4th, Northeastern 5th, Central York 6th, Southwestern 8, York 11. York's going to get in this thing. So, the York Adams League is going to be well represented of the 12 teams that get in that 6A bracket. Real quick, I also want to mention what I consider the top boys basketball game of the week. Earlier this week, Central York beat Cumberland Valley, the top 2 teams in District 3 6A, by that sets the tone, right?
That sets the tone.
76-70. That game played here in York. Big Ben Rill scored 21. Greg Geidner and Ben Nattel each had 19. That is a good win for Central York.
And a knockoff of the Mid-Penn.
Yeah. All right, Becky B., how about, the district wrestling's going on. There's not many teams left from the York Adams League, though.
No. Yesterday, actually, were some team championships for the District 3 AA duels. And in the consolation semifinals at Cumberland Valley High School, West Perry beat Biglerville 38-28. What wins for Biglerville at 107, Kyle Nelson, 121, Aiden Slaybaugh, 145, Joey Nye, 160, Aiden Hoffman, and 172, Landon Taylor. Congratulations, though, to Biglerville for getting that far.
Yeah. Hey, earlier this week in girls wrestling, the Boiling Springs Bubblers over the Papertown girls of Spring Grove 60-6. The only reason I'm reporting on that game is because of the Bubblers, obviously. The only winner for the Papertown girls was Ava Dietrich at 124 pounds. She had a pin at 124. Spring Grove loses to the Bubblers.
All right, and Thursday was a big day for division championship time for the York Adams League in swimming. On the girls' side, it was no surprise that the Wild Things of Dallastown and the Suburbanites of York Suburban captured titles. Before the meet, both teams had already garnered a share of the titles, but Thursday's results put a cherry on the top for both teams. The titles came in convincing fashion, too. Dallastown easily defeated Spring Grove 119-51 to continue continue their undefeated season. Congratulations especially to Julia Havris of Dallastown, as she broke the pool record at Dallastown with a time of 52.84 seconds in the 100 freestyle. Suburban easily beat New Oxford 83-11 to secure their crown. In other girls swimming, Red Lions squeaked by Central York 82-78. Dover outswam Susquehannock 116-64, and Southwestern doubled up Northeastern 106-51. On the boys' side of the pool, there were no predetermined titles before Thursday. In Division 1, the Northeastern Bobcats outswam the Mustangs of Southwestern 96-74 to stay unbeaten and clinch their Division 1 crown. With the loss, Southwestern fell to a three-way tie in Division 1 with Dallastown and Central York for second place. For the Northeasterners, Cole Prince won the 500 freestyle and the 100 backstroke. Southwestern's Owen Cromer took both the 100 and 200 free, and Sean Philippitz took the 100 fly and the 200 IM. The Division II crown was a real nail-biter. The deciding factor came down to the final event, the 400 free relay. Dover's team of John Bubb, Brogan Myers, Owen Downey, and Mason Hockenberry touched the wall in 3 minutes 25.45 seconds to win the meet and capture the Division II title over the reigning Warriors with a score of 86-82. Aiding the Eagles in their win, Mason Hockenberry also won the 100 back and the 200 IM. Susquehannock's Tyler Wright took the 100 breast and the 100 fly in the Warriors' losing effort. In other boys' swimming results, Central York Nellied Red Lion 121-34. Dallastown outswam Spring Grove 98-72, and York Suburban doubled up New Oxford 64-30. Let's take a look at the final league standings. All right, on the boys' side, Northeastern wins that league division with a 5-0 record, followed by Southwestern, Dallastown, and Central York sharing second place at 3-2. In Division 2, Dover, 4-0 record over Susquehannock with a 3-1 record, followed by West York. And in Division 1 for the girls, the Dallastown Wildcats remained unbeaten at 5-0, Southwestern at 4-1, and then Northeastern following at 3-2. And in Division 2, York Suburban also with a perfect record of 4-0, followed by Dover at 3-1 and Susquehannock at 2-2.
All right, that's Becky B reporting from the swimming hole. How about that? Hey, Becky B, bowling is starting to heat up. I mean, it's coming down to the wire here.
It's coming down to the final matches.
10 pin.
Yep, and it is close. Friday in a big match, Dallastown beat York Tech 4-1. That was a little bit of a surprise, but looking ahead, we have some more big matches coming. On February 7th, York Tech meets Spring Grove, and then followed on Friday, February 9th, Spring Grove will go to York Tech to figure what the final standings will be.
Wow.
Currently, Spring Grove is leading the pack with a 10-1 record. Dallastown is at 12-2, and York Tech is at 9-2. So really, this week will determine who's going to end up as the leader in bowling.
Yeah, it's possible 3 teams on top. Possible.
It would take a lot of finagling,
Hey,
but
let's look at
possible.
men's college basketball here quickly, please.
Okay, the York College men's basketball team saw their season-high 6-game win streak come to an end Saturday as Alvernia picked up an 89-79 triple overtime win over the Spartans in Reading. The Spartans had 3 starters foul out during the game as the Golden Wolves went on to the free throw line 20 more times than the Spartans. Alvernia made 13 more free throws than the Spartans in the game, allowing the Wolves to pick up that key victory. The Spartans are now 13-8 overall and 6-4 in the league. The Wolves are now 15-6 overall, and they break the tie for second place as they are 7-3 in the league. 6'4" junior forward Kai Capelli from Warwick High School in Lidditz played all 55 minutes as he led York with 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block shot, and 1 steal in the loss. That's an effort. Wow.
That's actually just incredible to think you played every minute of a triple overtime game. Hey, in the MAC Commonwealth, Widener leads with an 8-2 record. Hood is 8-2. Alvernia 7-3. Eastern 6-4. Then York also 6-4. In men's basketball college play yesterday, the Penn State York men fell yesterday to Penn State Lehigh Valley by a score of 67-60. Marquise McLean, 6'3" junior from York High, had 12 points. In the Pennsylvania State University Conference East standings for the men, Penn State Wilkes-Barre leads with a 10-0 record. Penn State York right behind, 9-5 record.
All right, and then the York College women's basketball team dropped their second straight as Alvernia University posted a 72-54 win in MAC Commonwealth action on Saturday afternoon in Reading. The Golden Wolves hurt the Spartans from downtown as they converted 10 triples in the game. Alvernia used those threes to pull away late in the second quarter and then cruise to the win. The Spartans are now 13-8 overall and 6-4 in the MAC Commonwealth, and the Golden Wolves are also 13-8 overall and they're 5-5 in league play. Senior guard Alyssa Haka from York Suburban High School registered her fourth straight double-double. She led the way with 13 points and 13 rebounds and also had 2 steals and 1 assist in her 33 minutes of play. She was the lone Spartan in double figures, but sophomore guard Brianna Grimm from Eastern York added 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals.
All right, in girls MAC Commonwealth, Messiah University 10-0, unbeaten in league play, 18-3 overall, followed by Widener 7-3. York then third in the MAC Commonwealth with a 6-4 record are the women basketball team from York College.
All right, in Penn State women's basketball, Abigail McAllister, a 5'6" freshman from Northeastern High School, had 13 points for the Penn State York women in their 94-71 loss to Penn State Lehigh Valley yesterday. With the loss, the Penn State women fall 14-8 overall, 9-5 in Penn State University Conference play.
All right, as we do every Saturday morning, let's celebrate the accomplishments of some of our local athletes here, Becky B.
All right, let's start with Levi Haynes from Biglerville. He's a Penn State wrestler at 157 pounds. He is 10-0 overall, 4-0 in the Big Ten. And the wrestling team from Penn State is now 8-0 and 5-0 in the Big Ten. And they downed visiting Ohio State in sold-out Rec Hall on Friday night. The Nittany Lions won 8 of their 10 bouts to claim the home win. And in that, Levi Holmes had a major decision.
So Levi's a sophomore, right?
Yes.
Tell us about his freshman season. This is incredible.
Okay, as a freshman, he's the Big Ten champion. He was first team All Big Ten. He was an NCAA national runner-up and an All-American and Big Ten freshman of the year. Plus, he's a smart guy.
Wow.
He was also on the national all-academic team.
Alrighty. Hey,
congratulations.
yeah.
What a first year, and I can't wait to see what the second year brings.
Levi Haynes from the Apple capital of the world. If you get ready for the Super Bowl next week, the York Adams League is going to be represented. New Oxford's Eric Harris, who played at New Oxford, is currently on the practice squad for the San Francisco 49ers. He was activated 3 times this season. Doesn't know yet if he'll be activated for the Super Bowl, but nonetheless, he's going to be either in uniform or out of uniform on the sidelines for the San Francisco 49ers. Eric Harris. Let's celebrate the success for Eric. He went on and played Division II for California here in the PSAC. So, isn't that well done?
Awesome.
Well done. Great job, Eric Harris.
Yes.
Alrighty.
All right, and the Juniata men's basketball team avenged a home loss to Drew earlier in the season, holding off a Rangers comeback 85-81, extending the current winning streak to 5. Senior guard Evan Eisenhart from Central York dropped a season-high 25 points, including 5 for 9 from the three-point line, and had 8 rebounds to lead the Juniata offensive effort. Senior forward Gabe Geidinger from Central York also contributed a trio of threes en route to 15 points and 3 steals.
Alrighty.
Congratulations, Juniata.
Yep, well done. All right, let's spend a few minutes and go long. Then we're going to get Coach Jerry Eckenrode on the phone with us. We've got a lot to do this morning, a lot of things to report about. But today in Go Long, we're talking about living intentionally when you're really thoughtful and prayerfully considering, your life and what you want to do with your life in terms of taking action to become, maybe like I try and pray for, to be a better Christian every day. But today we're talking about poor self-image and a fear of failure, and it kind of ties in what we're going to talk with Coach Keeney later about the Mental Health Institute that's going to happen today in the York Adams League. But it's a fear of failure is not uncommon for athletes. I remember talking with Coach Etzel, Randy Etzel, who grew up here in Glen Rock, when he was coaching at Connecticut, and asked him, and a young man asked him, he was speaking at our basketball banquet, and a young man asked him, Coach Etzel, what motivates you? And he said honestly, it's a fear of failure. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
So often often it motivates us in a positive way, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just don't want to lose. We just don't want to fail. And sometimes it's a motivator, but it can also be very stressful. It can be overwhelming. It can, just create anxiety, I guess, at sometimes as well for many people. So I want to talk a little bit about that and low self-esteem when you lack the confidence. And oftentimes it plays out where you're critical about yourself and you have doubt about your abilities, and it does impact your day-to-day life, right? Mm-hmm. A low self-image. I think it's interesting. The verse I often think about was from Proverbs chapter 23, verses 7. Listen to this. As a man thinks, so he is. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. So often when we have that low self-esteem, the book of Proverbs is telling us that's what we become, right? So it's so important to reverse that in our lives, I really believe. And I think we do that intentionally. We talk about living intentionally, first of all, through prayer, right? I think you can only beat that self-image, that low self-esteem, through just almost constant daily prayer. When you get that lack of self-esteem, that self-criticism, that self-doubt, that fear of failure, that pessimism, that anxiety in yourself, be prayerful about it. And God will help you and lift you up. There's no doubt in my mind. From the 2 Timothy chapter 1, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. So if you go to God and seek help, you will receive it. From a book of Isaiah, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen you. So there's many times in the Bible that it tells us to come. And also in the book of Proverbs, for the righteous falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked stumble in the times of calamity. So through God, you will have strength. Right, Becky B? What's your thoughts on that, please?
Well, and the other thing is, forgive yourself. Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. Nobody in this world is perfect. We are all sinners. Forgive yourself, put the past behind you, and move on.
Yeah, from the book of Romans, whoever believes in him will not be put to shame. That's our power, my friends. Be prayerful. Be intentional in your prayers. Surround yourself with positive people.
And remember that you are loved and precious to God. He made you perfect for his purpose.
Yep.
And what's more important than that?
Yep. And if he wants to pray for you again, please send a text message here this morning to 717-350-8591, and we will pray for you. Alrighty, my friends, we got a dandy coming up. We have Jerry Eckenrode, the Lone Catholic Squirettes head basketball coach. Friends, after we hear from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors.
Hey, WOIK listeners. Daryl Henry here with Kelsey McCullough, Kylie Taylor, the owners of Red Barn Home Decors. Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So Kylie and I bring in our furniture and decor to either a vacant or occupied home, and we allow buyers to create emotional connections with the home by envisioning their family in that space. Doing that allows the buyer to get top dollar for their listing and also sell it in the fastest amount of time.
Kylie, tell us about the benefits of Red Barn in particular.
Home staging is very important in the selling process. It really makes sure that your home sells in the quickest amount of time and for the top dollar. Some of our statistics here are homes sell in an average of 4.5 days and for over 16,000 over asking.
Kelsey, how would folks get in touch with Red Barn?
Please feel free to check out our portfolio at www.redbarnhomedecors.com. You can also check out our social media pages at Red Barn Home Decors or give us a call at 717-818-1207.
Red Barn Home Decors. Staging makes dollars and cents.
When you have talent like this, you know we're gonna brag about it. From Colin Cowherd, Dan Patrick, Doug Gottlieb, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox, Ben Maller, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Jason Smith, RJ Bell, and Mike Carmen.
There's gonna be some saltiness about that.
This is more than a lineup. This is the lineup. They live right here on Fox Sports Radio.
And welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. And on the phone with us is a York Adams legend basketball coach from the DeLone Catholic Squires from McSherrystown, Jerry Eckenrode. Coach Eckenrode, thanks so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Coach, I don't even know where to start. Your team is unbeaten. I mean, you're just racking up win after win. You have over 500 wins. I often say that if you want to win consistently, you need 3 scorers on the floor. Well, you don't stop at 3. Everybody on your floor can put balls in the hoop. Tell us about your team and how do you keep chugging on?
Well, number one, to have the record we have to have good talent. And we have actually lost one game. We lost to Westtown out of Philadelphia, who's the best high school girls team I've ever coached against. I can bar none. They had like 7 Division I players on their team. We're very fortunate that you really can't key on one person. We've got 4 girls who can put the ball in the basket, and we have a great defender in Ella Hughes, who's a 6'2" girl that can guard a small person or a big person. Our defense is what we hang our hat on, though. We do a very good job of help side defense, and the girls are, they're hard nosed. They're good athletes, and I guess our defense is what carries us, and our offense has its moments too.
Coach, 72 straight York Adams Division wins. Is that pressure? Does that give confidence? What does that feel like?
Everybody brings that up. To be honest with you, Wayne, I don't pay any attention to it. I mean, we just play game by game, and I don't even bring it up to the kids. We don't even talk about it. I don't think there's any pressure there whatsoever. We never really discuss it whatsoever. So, everybody will bring that up to me every once in a while, but I don't pay any attention to it, and I don't really lay it on the kids.
Let's talk York Adams tournament play here in a little bit. You're going to match up with some really large schools, and Division I think is probably top to bottom as good as they've been in a long time. So you're going to match up with some good teams. Division II, York Suburban is just playing great basketball. Northeastern's a heck of a good team as well. Dallastown, you can just look at those teams. Tell us how you think you match up against some of these teams when you get into York Adams League.
Well, I think we match up fine. We play some big schools this year. We played Springford, who's a very good team out of District 1. We played Williamsport, has a good record this year. Berks Catholic has a quality program. I really think that tournament's wide open. Depends upon who's playing well when, at what time. Some crazy things go on. Susquehanna beats Southwest, and then Southwest turns around and beats York High and Dallastown and Central. So it's been a crazy year, and I think it just depends upon each game who brings what it comes down to, and hopefully, our defense will keep us in ball games, and hopefully we have enough offense to push on. But I think we play Northeastern first, and they're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough game for us. Hopefully we can meet the challenge.
And when you're facing going into playoffs, it's kind of like a whole new season, isn't it? You've put your division things behind you, but now every single team you play is going to be a tough team. How do you prepare the girls for a tough game night in, night out?
We break our season down into 4 segments. Number 1, the regular season. Number 2, the county playoffs. Number 3, district. Number 4, states. I do a lot of film work to prepare our kids to show our kids the tendencies of each team we play, and we walk through those things. We spend probably 20 to 25 minutes each day on the sets that the other team runs, and also what their defense is and how we attack their defense. So we don't do a lot of hard contact during the postseason. We've already done that all year long. We do a few things, but more preparation, more shooting, defensive slide drills, a shell drill or horseshoe drill. We work a lot on that, but it's more game by game preparation to know what the other team's going to do.
Earlier this year on Go Long, we had Coach Kevin Bankos, a York Catholic, and almost an exact quote, he said, Coach Eckenrode doesn't like to admit it, but they're the team to beat.
Well,
how do you respond to that, Coach?
Kevin's always build me up and just to pull my leg. I mean, we've got a good team. There's no doubt about it. But there's other good teams there. If we have a bad like the other night we played against Bermuda, and we didn't score for 7.5 minutes. You can't do that in a game and expect to beat a really good team. So we have our weaknesses also. I think if we play at a high level, we can beat anybody. But we can also lose if we don't show up and take care of the basketball. We had 11 turnovers in the first half against Bermuda, but we can't do that game by game. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I reached out to everybody's got to know this. I reached out to Coach Eckenrode earlier this week and said, "Hey, Coach, can you join us Sunday morning?" Coach's response was, "Yes, thank you. I'm going to go to church Saturday night now instead of Sunday morning." Coach, I know that faith is important to you. I know how you lead young people. You're absolutely an incredible leader. You're a great coach, but you're also an incredible leader. You're just a wonderful person. You're fun. I mean, you love the game, and you treat it with that respect, and that's the same respect you treat everyone involved in the game. Coach, over 500 wins. Do you got how many more do you have in you, Coach? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I don't know too much. I just go year by year right now. I mean, I still enjoy the competition. I don't like long bus rides anymore. I can tell you that much. And the nervous anxiety, like on Friday, I'll have nervous anxiety probably this whole week. That wears you on a little bit, but I'm semi-retired right now, so I have plenty of opportunity to look at game film and fill my days with that type of thing. So I don't know. I've given it thought, but I haven't given it that much thought. How's that?
That's perfect. Thank you, Coach. Listen, we want to celebrate Coach Jerry Eckenrode and DeLone Catholic Squirettes. Coach, you're, again, a wonderful man. Look forward to following you throughout the postseason here. We'll get you back on as you make your run in districts and state playoffs. So thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
All right, Wayne. Thanks a lot. I always appreciate it. Thank you.
All righty, guys. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsors.
It's going to be another epic year of high school hoops. And Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK are ready for tip-off. Tune in every week for the high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to 98.9WOYK.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the York Adams League. The high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch all the action all season on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350, online at 98.9WOYK.com, or download the new WOYK app.
Hey WOYK listeners, Daryl Henry here with Kelsey McCullough, Kylie Taylor, the owners of Red Barn Home Decors. Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So Kylie and I bring in our furniture and decor to either a vacant or occupied home, and we allow buyers to create emotional connections with the home by envisioning their family in that space. Doing that allows the buyer to get top dollar for their listing and also sell it in the fastest amount of time.
Kylie, tell us about the benefits of Red Barn in particular.
Home staging is very important in the selling process. It really makes sure that your home sells in the quickest amount of time and for the top dollar. Some of our statistics here are home sell in an average of 4.5 days and for over 16,000 over asking.
Kelsey, how would folks get in touch with Red Barn?
Please feel free to check out our portfolio at www.redbarnhomedecors.com. You can also check out our social media pages at Red Barn Home Decors or give us a call at 717-818-1207.
Red Barn Home Decors. Staging makes dollars and cents.
And welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. we got a dandy on the phone with us right now, a man that I just have great respect, great regard for, a tremendous person, a tremendous athletic director. Becky B, tell us about it.
All right, with us is Brad Keeney. Brad is the athletic director at Susquehannock, and they are hosting the York Adams Mental Health Symposium today at Susquehannock High School, starting at 2 p.m. Brad, welcome to Go Long.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Now, Brad, this event was originally scheduled in January, was postponed. It's a beautiful day in Southern York County. Tell us about the event, please.
Well, basically, we are holding a mental health symposium that the YAIAA is running. And it's basically one thing that is impacting schools probably more than anything else at this point is mental health of our students. And so today we're fortunate to have, we're going to run a coaches panel from 2 to 3, and from 3 to 4 we're actually going to run a parent and a student athlete panel, and the whole time we'll have a wellness fair going on in the background, but it's going to be a very powerful event.
Coach, we often think mental health, is not something when you think of as student athletes, because they're active, they're involved, they're doing good things, but it is, right? I mean, it's real. Tell us.
Oh, it absolutely is real. I mean, one thing that you forget about is the amount of pressure and confidence and all the other things that go along with athletics. You certainly have the physical piece, you have the togetherness piece, you have the piece where, kids are part of something bigger than themselves. But at the same time, these kids draw a whole lot of confidence from how they perform. They draw a whole lot of confidence from the role in the team. They draw a whole lot of confidence from, whether or not they feel they're good enough. So there's an inordinate amount of pressure, and it's, athletics has always been very important, but it feels like, the amount of pressure and the amount of with COVID and all the other things that kind of isolated kids, I feel like they're drawing so much more than they probably would have in the past.
Well, and Brad, my opinion, and it could just be my opinion, but I think the component too of social media has played into it so much now, because prior, if you stumbled on the field, made a mistake on the field, it was pretty much kept to that area of your team and the team you're playing with. Now with social media, it's blasted across the entire social media, and kids just don't get away from it. It's 24/7.
Yes, they do. And that's, I think, another piece too. Whereas in the past, you had your practice, you went home, your day was kind of done at that point, right? And now, like you say, it's a 24/7 access to each other. And you're right. Like some of these Barstool accounts, some of these things where kids get on, and whether it's trash talk or going back and forth about upcoming games or performance, how they did in the last game, it's in their face constantly. I agree.
I sometimes I wonder if we did it to ourselves. When I was young playing sports, we played in the backyard and had great times, and we went to the game. And, my parents went to every game, but never once did I feel pressure, to win and so forth. And it's not just parents, it's our whole society, right? I mean, who's now saying win, 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 and almost at all cost.
Right.
I'm not sure how we get beyond that. I know it plays out in mental health for our student athletes, but I think as parents, as other teammates, I think we do have a role. What's your thought?
My thought's very simple, and of course, being an AD helps you understand this. I was a student athlete, I was a coach, and when I was an athlete and when I was a coach, I was really into that role of we got to get the best out of the kids. We got to get the best out of everything we do. As an AD, it gives you that opportunity to look back and see what it's really about. High school sports are an extension of the classroom. That's it. That's what they are. They're education-based athletics. The purpose of what we're doing is for kids to learn how to work as a group, how to problem solve together, how to have uncommon commitment, uncommon perseverance. And that is the things that we want to push, right? Yeah. And so when you look at the winning and losing, yeah, that's important because you want the kids to have fun. Absolutely. You want them to win everything they possibly can. But at the end of the day, we always say over here at Susky, we want to create bulletproof kids. We want to create kids that can go out into the world and deal with adversity, get into tough situations, and have that perseverance to get through. And that's what this is about. So if I'm a parent and I have a kid that's part of an athletic program, my goals should be to teach that kid how to push through the hard times, how to create better relationships with the other people in the team, how to do all the things that, someday when they're in a job, they're going to be successful. That's the purpose of what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the goals that we set. Obviously, I'm still coaching youth basketball, and nobody wants to win more than me. But before every game, I tell the kids, here's how we're going to evaluate ourselves: how we represent ourselves, how we treat our opponent, how we treat our teammates, how we treat the officials. Do we play hard? Do we give our best? At the end of the game, we're going to walk in. And that's what we're going to ask ourselves. We're going to evaluate ourselves based on that.
Correct. Right. And it's not easy to do. Heck, as an AD, it's not easy to do. So
right.
It because you do get caught up in it. And I, even as a coach, sometimes you want those kids to succeed so bad that your emotions get high. And I think it's a tough thing because, it's something as our society really values sports, and you're taught that from a young age. And so, we got a Super Bowl coming up. People are going to act like absolute nuts, over a football game. But at the high school level, we certainly want to make sure that we're remembering what it's all about.
Yep. So Becky B, tell us about this event again. Give us some details.
Yes. So get yourself out to Susquehannock High School today. Starting at 2 o'clock, there will be a wellness fair going on from 2 to 4 continuously. Coaches will have a special session from 2 to 3 o'clock. Students and parents will have a special session from 3 to 4 o'clock. And then afterwards, there'll be a small reception following the parent and student sessions. And Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not just for student athletes. It's also open to the community. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Anybody that can make it out, we'd love to have you.
Today on Go Long, we celebrate Coach Brad Keeney, athletic director at Susquehannock High School. I'm telling you, friends, I've known this guy since he was a young man. I love his family. I played high school sports with his father. Great people, and an apple doesn't fall far from a tree here. Coach Keeney is a wonderful young man, a great athletic director, a great athlete. I mean, you're a competitor, Coach. You're a great athlete. But you know what? You know and articulate what's right about high school sports, and I value that. A great leader. Coach, we celebrate you today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And, hey, just a quick shout-out. I want to thank Dr. Kevin Mullen at Susquehannock High School for putting the time together to put this mental health symposium into place. So he deserves the credit, man.
Absolutely. Great man as well.
Absolutely. And impacting all young people in a positive way, looking at mental health, because for so often this has kind of been something that's not been talked about, swept under the rug, and it's really something that's impacting our young people.
All right, Coach. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, guys.
All righty. Becky B., as you do every Sunday morning, would you please lead us in closing prayer?
Dear Lord, we just thank you for this time together, and we just thank you for the opportunity for student athletes to play sports here in our area, and for all of the people that are with them and support them. Lord, please be with our student athletes as they go into the postseason. Help them to do their very best, and please, Lord, help them to remember that you have them always in your loving care, and that they are special to you, and to look at that mental health aspect as being a special part of your world. We ask you, Lord, also to be with those people who are having some physical challenges right now. We just praise you and thank you for the positive results that Robin has received from his tests and from his surgery. We thank you also that Lisa continues to improve week by week. We ask special prayers for Thelma as she faces hip surgery, and for Diane and Linda as they are facing their continued treatment.
And dear Heavenly Father, we also pray for all those coaches and student athletes that they find success, but also we pray that they find success through you in your way, dear Heavenly Father. In Christ's name we pray. What a great show. I want to thank Jerry Eckenrode, DeLone Catholic. He said, hey, I'll go to church Saturday night so I can join you Sunday morning. We appreciate that so very much for him to change his schedule and be with us. Athletic Director Brad Keeney, Susquehannock High School. Wonderful young man. Great leader.
And thank you to Susquehannock for hosting the Mental Health Symposium. What an important event for our community.
Absolutely. So, guys, and my friends who are with us, we appreciate you being with us every Sunday morning here on Go Long. And now, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Thank you to Kelsey Jean and Kylie Jane from Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents, for Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. This is Dr. Wayne McCullough and Becky B saying, Go Long.